we both have podcasts. We've both been in sales for a long time. Do you see it trending where businesses should start to have a podcast as a way to promote their business's brand?
I think it really depends. So I think it depends on what you do and what the nature of the podcast or show would be about, and then what the end result is. So I think, and I would probably now put myself in the bucket that I think everybody could have a podcast. Every business should have some kind of personal brand, right? And I don't mean like sales rep you personal brand. I mean like some kind of personalized brand for that company, and something they're putting out content wise that's educating, it's informative, it's building this audience. It's also just a good, like, again, going back to, if somebody's not going to buy from you until they've researched it, right? And so when they Google that, and that's part of why I started my podcast, and one of the biggest benefits, when somebody calls me and says, hey, I want to hire you, nobody says, well, tell me about what you know about sales, tell me about why, why you're good at what you do. You just Google me. Like, there's so many. I mean, I'm 300 episodes plus everything on my site. It's like, that part's done. Like, it's so much knowledge out there.
Yeah.
Next is, how do we put it together? And so I'm even thinking, like, one of my new clients that I have is a retail furniture store of all things. And, they could have a podcast that could be talking about what they do and the environment, because they're really big on that, and some kind of thought leadership, which then is just a great resource, whether it's lead generation or just content and brand building.
Yeah, I've thought about that more and more, that, companies, that might be a different way, interviewing their own clients, right? Or their relationship partners that they have, and looking at that one vertical maybe they specialize in, and a way for them to get better traction with their own customers, but also get some branding out there. Now, and as far as like, because I see like you again, not to use this word again, but the paradigm shift going from the way things, I feel like there's two sets of people out there right now. You've got the old school sales guys who bang the phones all day and still, don't really rely on email too much. And then you've got millennials and Gen Zers entering the workforce that all they want to do is shoot DMs and emails and make zero phone calls. And there's very few of us, I think, that are taking the approach of using everything every single day tactically.
Yep.
Where do you see that shift?
I mean, so here's the thing is, if you're involved with selling something, so you're in a sales role where you sell something where somebody has to make some kind of decision that's going to involve some process of figuring out if it's a good fit, some kind of decision making, consultative approach. At some point, you're going to have to get on the phone with somebody. You're going to have to do it over the phone, and you're going to want to do it over the phone just to make sure you can close that deal. If you don't get on the phone, then you're essentially an order taker. Now, you can try to close deals by text and email, and that could work to a certain level, but your people have to really know that they want to buy it anyway. And are you really a persuading closing salesperson because you can, send them some texts and get them to buy from you, or not? Now, whether it has to start with a phone call, I'll tell you, because I am not in those younger generations. I mean, I'm 44. I don't like to answer my phone. In fact, I text with my parents to set up a time when we're going to talk, because they're busy and I'm busy. Like, if my mom calls me out of the blue, it must be an emergency, because even she knows, like, don't call me because I probably won't answer it. So for me, I don't like cold calls. I don't think that's necessarily appropriate everywhere, but at some point you do have to get on the phone. So I think that omni-channel, as buzzy word as that sounds, like that you're doing, I think that's the key, right? Start it everywhere you can. And also keep in mind, you got to meet your customers where they want to be at. Do they want to text? And then maybe schedule a phone call at whenever they want to do it. Don't just assume like, oh, everyone's going to jump on the phone right now, or everyone wants to email right now. Like, you have to be empathetic to the other person and what they want.
Yeah.